So, what if a school could literally grow the solution to its biggest problems? I mean, right out of the ground. Today, we're diving into this incredible story coming out of Kenya, where a really historic school is doing exactly that. It's a story about money, the environment, and a very, very special plant.
It sounds a little bit like a fairy tale, doesn't it? Can you really just plant something and harvest the cash you need for new buildings? Well, stick with me, because that's the exact question we're going to answer, and the solution is pretty amazing.
Okay, so at the heart of our story is Alliance High School. This is a super prestigious institution, founded way back in 1926. And as it gets closer to its 100th anniversary, it's not just planning a celebration. It's staring down two gigantic challenges that could really threaten its future. And just to give you a sense of the scale here, the school sits on this impressive 153-acre campus. It's a true cornerstone of Kenyan education. So its vision for its centennial is huge. It's all about getting ready for the next 100 years. But a vision that big, well, it requires some major upgrades.
And that brings us right to problem number one, money. Specifically, a funding gap of over 112 million Kenyan shillings. That's the cash they need for crucial projects, like a new digital library and a big multi-purpose hall. The usual fundraising bake sales and donation drives, they just weren't going to cut it.
At the exact same time, you've got problem number two, which is this massive environmental crisis. See, all across Kenya, schools rely on firewood to cook meals for their students. This leads to an estimated, get this, 10 million trees being cut down every single year. The education system itself has become a major cause of deforestation. So you've got this impossible situation. The school needs money, and the country desperately needs to save its trees.
And this is where the whole story takes a fascinating turn. An unexpected hero enters the picture, a plant that offers a way to solve both the money problem and the environmental problem at the same time. So let's meet the star of our show, bamboo.
Just think about the sheer speed of this thing for a second. To get usable wood from a normal tree, you're waiting decades, right? Maybe 30, even 50 years. With bamboo, you are ready to go in just 3 to 5 years. It's like an incredible biological accelerator.
And if you think that's fast, check this out. When it's really in its growth spurt, some types of bamboo can shoot up 4 feet in a single day. You could literally pull up a chair and watch it grow. This isn't just a plant, it's a biomass factory running on overdrive.
You know, what's so wild is that bamboo isn't even a tree. It's technically a giant grass. And because it grows so ridiculously fast, it's an absolute monster when it comes to capturing carbon. It pulls about 32% more CO2 out of the atmosphere than a similar grove of hardwood trees. It literally cleans the air faster.
Okay, so we've got this amazing super plant. But how does that actually solve the school's two big problems? Well, this is where the real genius of the model kicks in. The team behind this designed a brilliant, self-sustaining system, what they call a circular engine, that just keeps feeding itself.
Here's the big idea. The school plants bamboo on its land. That bamboo gets harvested, and then it's turned into two key products, clean-burning fuel briquettes for the kitchens and super durable boards for making furniture. All of a sudden, the school stops having to pay for firewood, and it stops having to buy expensive timber for new desks. It becomes this perfect closed loop.
And let's look at the numbers here. Just by switching from firewood to their own bamboo briquettes, the school slashes its yearly fuel costs by a whopping 35%. That's real money that goes right back into the school's budget. But believe it or not, these savings, they're only half the story.
Now we get to the most revolutionary part of this whole thing. See, the school isn't just growing bamboo. It's growing a financial asset. It's turning its new little forest into something called carbon credits. And by doing that, it's tapping into the huge global market for climate finance.
Now, this is way too complex for the school to do on its own. It's all about this powerful three-way partnership. You've got Alliance High School, which provides the land and is the main beneficiary. You've got the Earth Keepers Foundation, which brings all the local, on-the-ground expertise to make sure the bamboo really thrives. And then you have Verity Nature, the tech partner that connects this whole project to the international carbon markets.
And right here, this is the absolute game changer. Thanks to a new law in Kenya, for projects like this, 40% of all the money made from selling carbon credits has to go directly to the local host community, which in this case is the school. This isn't a maybe, it's not a donation, it is a legally required revenue share. So how does this actually work?
How do you turn a bamboo forest into cold, hard cash? Okay, first, Verity Nature uses all this cool tech, drones, blockchain, to prove exactly how much carbon that bamboo has soaked up. It's like a super high-tech audit. Then that proof gets officially certified as a carbon credit. That credit is then sold on the global market to big companies that need to offset their own emissions. And boom, the school's 40% share flows right into its centenary green fund to finally pay for those new buildings.
So it's pretty clear this model works wonders for one school. But the vision here is so much bigger. This was never meant to be just a one-off project. It was designed from the very beginning to be a blueprint, something that could be copied and pasted by schools all across Kenya, and maybe even the entire continent.
Let's just dream for a second and look at the best-case scenario for 2030. Alliance High School achieves total financial independence, all funded by its own ecological assets. It becomes a completely zero-waste campus. The Alliance Blueprint gets adopted as national policy, turning Kenya's 10,000 schools from a source of deforestation into a massive force for reforestation. And maybe the most important part, its graduates walk out of there as a new generation of leaders who are totally fluent in the language of the new green economy.
And that leaves us with this one final, really powerful question. This whole thing started as a story about one school's pretty big funding gap. But what it's become is a model for scalable, sustainable development that can actually work. So you have to ask, if one school can pull this off, just imagine what 10,000 schools could do together.